They don't like you because you're trying to make their lives worse. Why would you like somebody who's trying to make you as miserable as possible? I was at a wedding not long ago, and the pastors decided to take the time to say something about the two people that were getting married were bright lights among a wicked generation. I'm like, why is this necessary to throw in here in the middle of a wedding? But this is that mindset kind of pervades. And every generation's like this. Every generation, the younger generation, looks back down on the older generation because they think they're giving them too hard of a time. There's always the get off my lawn when you get older. Younger people suck. You know, there's always that to a certain extent, but there's an especially, it seems, just an extra contempt boomers have and have had for millennials, Gen Z for a long time. I've had to listen my entire life, boomers insulting millennials, insulting younger people, just how terrible we are and how entitled we are and how much we're ruining everything. Finally got sick and tired of it and just started to speak out about it after listening to it for 20 friggin' years. This is something that I've noticed a lot, is that they don't quite understand all the advantages that they have that we are not now afforded because they took all the money and ran out the back door and left us with less than what they had. A lot of the people that watch my stuff are kids of boomers, including myself. If you check out the video I posted from George Carlin on criticizing boomers, the only reason I post this stuff like that is to try and get the attention of, okay, let's actually think here about who's screwing over who. The one thing I found, if you look through the comments, there's so many people who are just think very similarly, just like the boomers especially just don't seem to get what they had that we don't. The advantages they had that we don't. So many people kind of come out and be like, I agree. We're tired of this crap. We're tired of listening to this. We're tired of dealing with all this. And we just want some stability. We want some sense of normalcy. We're tired of other people trying to control everything that we do and tell us how terrible we are. Just tired of listening to being insulted and having your rights threatened and being blamed for not being able to actually pay for anything when we've suffered through two major economic collapses and a pandemic and a post 9/11 world. There's a lot of problems that we need to fix. There's a lot of things that we need to address, and we're not going to address them if we can't agree on a fundamental baseline of at least 2 + 2 = 4. And I think a lot of the younger folks actually understand that. The young people actually came out. We're the deciding factors in this election. The age breakdown, 65 older. So basically, these are the boomers. Went 12 plus for Republicans. Same with 50, 64, 40 to about mid 50s. That's Generation X, all going for Republicans. Then here you get down into the millennials going for Democrats, and even more essentially here you see Gen Z going overwhelmingly for Democrats. So if it weren't for Gen Z and the younger millennials that came out, it would have been a red wave election. The only reason that they came out more for Democrats than Republicans, and this is something that a lot of my Republican friends don't quite understand, they don't like you. They can't stand you because you're fundamentally trying to make their lives worse, trying to make them as miserable as possible. Why would you like somebody who's trying to make you as miserable as possible and is trying to force you to live your life the way that you think they should instead of the way they want to? And I think the abortion thing kind of really solidifies it. That's what a lot of people really came out for, especially younger people who are going to be impacted the most by all of these abortion restrictions. It played a huge role in bringing them out to say, hey, I don't want those rights being stripped away, especially being stripped away by people who had those rights pretty much their entire lives. And then now when it's no longer going to affect them, not really caring that they're stripping it away from other people. I always try to say, if you have a certain position on something, take it and flip the orientations around. Would you still tolerate it if it were happening to you? We could get a lot further if we actually followed the golden rule a little bit more. Don't do to others what you don't want done to yourself.